Hey everyone, and welcome to our channel, What the Framework. And this is the fourth episode of the series where we will be learning App Engine Studio and all the apps associated with App Engine Studio in detail by building an amazing application like the community driven innovation. So in the previous episode, what we did is that we built the table for the community driven innovation hub. So in this, by creating the table, we learned about the data layer. That is one of the building block for any application that is created via App Engine Studio. So if you guys have not checked out that video, please go and check out before jumping into this video. So in this video, what we will be doing is that we will be creating a new experience. So we will be creating a record producer. So what basically is a record producer in a simple term is that it is a form through which a user can submit their request in a question format. So in our perspective, we want to create a form in which users can send their name of the project and the description and the start date and end date in a very simple way. So for this purpose, we'll start creating the record producer. For doing so, we need to click on add experience, and then what we can do is that we can click on the record producer. So before that, I just want to highlight one small thing. Let's go back to my homes and let's go to the application which we're creating, that's community driven innovation hub, and let's go to the data table, the project list table which we have created in the previous lecture, and let's go to edit. And I just want to mention that we have included a field called submitted by, and this field is not necessary because we already have a default field provided by the ServiceNow called as created by, and this field automatically captures the person, or you can say the employee slash user who has submitted us this record, or you can say submitted us this project. So we can delete this record because the same functionality is provided out of the box by the ServiceNow. So we'll just delete the column submitted by, and I have deleted it. Always the best practice to preview the record, and you can see there's nothing here, so we are good. So let's jump back fast and create our experience by creating our record producer. So for that, we will click on new and we'll click on record producer. So if you see, a record producer looks something like this. It asks for like requested for critical and category, and this is basically what you're seeing is an example of incident application provided by the ServiceNow. That's an inbuilt application, that's not a custom application. So let's begin creating a record producer for a innovation hub app. So what will be the name of the record producer? Let's say the record producer is name is project request, and let's give a description saying that this captures the request submitted by the employees, captures the project request submitted by employees, and we'll continue. This is going to take few seconds, as you can see on the screen, and we are already done. And now let's open the record producer and let's edit it the way which we require. So whenever we are creating a record producer, let's see from the end user perspective, like what all does the end user want? The end user wants in the form that they can add the project name, the start date, the end date, and also the description. So let's add those information in a kind of question format. But before that, let's finish the basic details. So if you see, you can add the project request and short description. It's auto populated from the form which we submitted before. Let's click on continue to destination, and the destination table. So the table where all this information will be stored is the table which we created in the previous episode. That is the project list table. Please check that out before you get into this video and try working on it. So I'll just link the table. I can just type project, and you can see the table which we created. That's project list has appeared here. Let's continue to location. And so where do we want this catalog record producer to be available at? So we will say that we'll browse it, and we'll say that we need it actually in the service catalog. And yeah, we can select the service catalog. And just for your information, you can get service catalog from here, service catalogs, and you can see all your service catalogs here. And you can see the services, the hardware, the can we help you, and now the category. So the categories, these color categories of the service catalogs, that are services, hardware, can we help you, software, desktop, mobile, and so on. So we'll provide a category, and we'll just choose can we help you here. That will be better. Yeah, that we can choose can we help you, so it will fall under this category. And we'll do a save selection. The topics, we'll just leave this empty for right now, and we'll continue to questions. And this is one of the main important thing. So always remember, inside the record producer we will ask those questions for which we want to populate the information in our project list table. So inside the project list table, let's open the project list table as well. So for that, I will click on data, click on preview. And as you can see, there are 4 custom fields that we have created: name, description, start date, and end date. And we want users to submit these 4 record for sure when we are submitting any new project request. So what we are going to do is that we are going to ask questions in that perspective. So where is it gone? Yeah. So yeah. So the record producer. So we were here. So let's insert the first question. So the first question is going to be something like, we want the name. So name of the project. So the type is going to be text. We have other options like the option choice, date, time, and display label, but we know that the data type was string, and string is more closely associated to text, you can see here. So we'll choose the option of text. And the question subtype, it will be a single line. We won't choose multi-line on rich text. We'll just give a single line. And let's add details about this question. So do we want to map to a specific field of the table? Definitely we want to. And that field, as you remember from here, okay, from the project list table that we have selected before, we want to link it to the name field. So what we are going to do is that we are going to choose inside the table field the name field, and you can select it here. And let's put the question label. That is exactly what question, what text is going to be seen by the user. So we won't write a question, or we can just say like, please provide a name for your innovation. Because what is the name of your innovation will sound little just like little vague. So just giving a better name, saying that please provide a name of an innovation. And we will set this as a mandatory field because we want users to provide the name of the innovation. And once you click mandatory, you cannot hide or do read only. So yep. Then we'll continue to additional details. We don't need a text validation for right now. We don't require any default value to be populated right now, or we don't require any auto populated values, and we don't require an annotation. I will show you the requirement of annotation in the coming time when we are going to add the fields like date, start date, and end date. Okay, for now we are good with this. And as you can see on the right hand side, we see the question preview. Please provide a name of your innovation and a mandatory mark. Let's insert the question. And in the similar way, let's create another question for adding the description. So that too is going to be text, single line text, and let's map it to the field, and the field which we want is the description field inside the project list. So let's choose inside the table field the description field, and here we go. And we'll write here the what's the question. Please provide a detailed description regarding your innovation. And yep, so as you can see here on the right hand side, we have got the preview as soon as we type it, and this is how it's going to look. I'll just, yep, as is how it's going to look. And then the name field is auto populated because we are choosing the description field, so it is taking the value of the label. So the value of the label is the starting with small letter, so that is the description. And yeah, then we are going to choose mandatory option because we want this field also as mandatory. Continue to default, we don't require validation or default values here as well, or we don't require annotation as well. Yeah, we don't require annotation here, so we'll insert question, and let's add the other two field. So the field which we require now is the last two field, that is the start date and end date. So for that purpose, what we are going to do is that we are going to choose a special type of question, that is the date and time. The reason why we are going to do that is because, as we remember, when we created the start date and end date field, we associated data type as the date type. So that is the reason we have to include the date and type format and not string format. So the question subtype, we don't require time, we just require date. So we'll just give the option of date. Map to a specific, definitely we want to map to a specific field, and that field is going to be start date. And question label is going to be what is your es, es, what is the project's estimated start date, and we'll add a question mark. And the field value is automatically populated when we choose the table field which we are referencing to. We want it mandatory, and we'll just do continue to default value no, we don't require to auto populate. So we'll go to annotation, and inside the annotation what we're going to do is that we're going to write show instructions, and what we're going to provide is we'll provide an annotation saying that uh, accurate date not needed. And this is just for an example, and as you see here on the preview, there is a eye icon, information icon, which has been shown right now besides the question label. And if you click on that, you can see the instruction what we have provided, accurate date not needed. And we can insert the question, and the same thing we're going to do for the end date as well. So date time, date, since we don't require tab, map to a specific field, absolutely. Choose end date, and because that's the field label which we have provided, it auto populates the value. And the title label of the question will be please provide with the estimated end date for your project. What, or we can just say what is your estimated, what is the estimated end date for your project. And we'll have this as a mandatory field. Continue to default, continue to default, continue to annotation, awesome. And we'll provide here dates need not be need not be accurate. And if you see, the annotation has come up right here, and we'll insert this question as well. And yep, as you can see, we have got all our questions ready which we need to show inside our record producer. And yep, so what, and if you want, you can rearrange the position of how the questions will be shown. like which will be shown first or the second or the third by just clicking on the extreme light, just left click and just drag and drop, and as you can see you can change the entire position, but I want the name first and not the description, so I'll just get back to its original position. So once we have done that, what we can do is that go to continue to settings, and inside the settings, what the portal settings do we require? We want to hide the save as draft button. We don't want attachment button, and this becomes read only then. Let's continue to access. For the access, we can select who can see this catalog item and who cannot see this catalog item on the inside the not available tab, but we don't require this currently. So all we are going to do is that we are going to do continue to review and submit, and inside the preview you can see the entire details what we have filled, like from the basic info to destination to location to all our questions. And let's preview it before submitting, since it's always a best practice to preview. And when you click on the preview, what we're going to see is that we see how it's going to look inside the portal view. So inside the portal view it's going to look like this, like it will give, and it populates all the questions what we require, which is awesome. Inside the mobile view it's going to look somewhat like this, and trust me, it takes really good time to load the mobile. And yeah, lucky enough we have got it loaded soon, so yep. And now you can see this is how it's look in mobile, and that's how it's going to look in the virtual agent. So yeah, so I think we are good here, and we can just cancel the preview by just closing the dialog box, and that's all what we require. So we are clicking on save. So we have saved the record, and I'll click on submit, and this says success, that your service catalog item has been created. So what we're going to do is that we are going to test our service catalog item, and as you can see on the experience tab, the building block, you can see the record producer created called project request that we have created now. So for testing it, let's reload our main page, and let's go to service catalogs, and let's go to can we help you tab, and inside can we help you tab, if you can see our catalog record producer has been created, that's project request. Let's click on that, and hooray, we see our information, our entire questions what we have provided here, where the employees can submit their project ideas. So for that, uh, you can you can just go to the table you have created. So for just checking the table name, what you can do is that go to preview, and we can just copy up to project list. Let's copy it, and let's go to the main tab and click on dot, paste it and put dot and type list. So this opens the project list table on the new tab, and let's continue testing with our service catalog item record producer, that's project request. So what we're going to do is add an name of the innovation, saying that uh, community hub, description for community hub, and what is the project estimated start date. And you can see the more information annotation which we provide comes here, and we get a calendar view open, and this entire thing is happening without writing a code, my friends, remember. You can select a start date, we can select a end date, and we can submit it, and this opens the form view of the record you have submitted. And if you want to check whether the record has been submitted, you can go back to the project list table and refresh, and as you can see, the community hub project has been submitted with the description, with the start date, end date, and who has created it. If you want, you can open the form and it's the same form that opens. So stay tuned for our next episode where we will be diving deep inside the UI builder, where we will be creating a workspace experience for users as well as admins so that they can see the project request that the other employees have been submitted. So please make sure to subscribe to this channel to keep yourself updated regarding the App Engine Studio and as well as everything that's happening under ServiceNow. And please don't forget to hit the like button so that more learners can get this video as their recommendation. Thank you and enjoy learning.